In February 2026, Toca Boca posted a cheerful little video to its official Instagram. The caption? It's going to be free for everyone soon. The hospital, a location people have paid real money for, was about to be given to every single user free of charge. And the comments underneath were split clean down the middle. Half of them were delighted. One wrote, "OMG, thank you Toca Boca." The other half had just done the maths. The top reply said, "This is so insane. All this money I spent on these worlds and you guys giving it out for free?" Another user added, "Why, can I get a refund or something? I bought it." And another, "Give me a refund then for buying it." And one player, who clearly had enough, wrote, "Are you kidding me, Toca Boca? I am sick and tired of you giving out free stuff. It's not fair. I paid for the hospital and now it's free." So, how did Toca Boca, a company speaking directly to upset children on its own page, how did they handle this? Well, they did so with grace. They did so with humanity. Wait, let me just check my notes. Oh, they did the exact same sentence, copied and pasted to every single kid. "Please reach out to our customer support via the link in our bio." And to the next one, "Please reach out to our customer support via the link in our bio." Over and over, like a tin of corporate goodwill with the lid welded shut. And here's the punchline to "reach out to our support team." Plenty of people actually did. One parent wrote on Trustpilot, "Been contacting them for months due to my daughter's purchases all disappearing. Not once have I had a reply. It's been going on since the beginning of April." So the official advice is to go to support, yet the support is a room with the lights turned off. Because of course it is. One Toca Boca player watched all this and said the quiet part out loud. "Clearly you guys don't care if we gave you our money. I swear I'm starting to dislike this game." And the hospital? It wasn't even the first time. Yes, for Toca Boca, this is becoming a routine. Scroll back through Toca Boca's own posts and you'll find the identical announcement in November. Movie Studio is now free for everybody. Popcorn emoji and all, with the exact same reaction underneath. The top comment read, "Another place that I bought being made free. Happy for it being made free, but not so thrilled I paid for it to begin with if it was eventually going to be made free." Someone else was totting up the damage. "I spent good money on both of these locations and the Sea Aquarium too." So, here's the question. Why is Toca Boca suddenly giving away the stuff it used to charge for? Because for years, and I mean for years, the complaint about this game was the exact opposite. Now, full disclosure, I'm not exactly Toca Boca's target demographic. Yes, I've never once opened this game to build a dream house or give a little character a haircut. So before writing this video, I went and did my homework. Mainly by watching Clover Gaming's The Entire History of Toca Boca, which is well worth your time and linked in the description. Anyway, here's the short version for anyone as out of the loop as I was. Toca Boca is a Swedish studio that makes apps for little kids and it's made loads of them over the years. Toca Hair Salon, Toca Kitchen, the old Toca Life apps like Hospital and City. But the one my video is about, the one with the shop, the houses, and the hospital everyone's so upset about, is its flagship, Toca Boca World. You can think of it as a giant digital doll's house. It's aimed at roughly 6 to 12-year-olds, and tens of millions of them play it. That's the one we're talking about. But I'm interested in something beyond the doll's house. Apps that quietly get worse and more expensive over time, and bank on the fact that their audience is young kids who won't be listened to. Well, I'm listening. And if you want to help me reach more people with these exposés, hit subscribe. It's free, unlike most things in Toca Boca. Anyway, that exact opposite I mentioned. What I mean by that is, back in the day on Toca Boca, you had to pay for everything just to play. If you're new to it, here's how Toca Boca World actually works. You download it for free, and then you quickly discover what free means. One player explained it to a confused newcomer better than Toca Boca's own website ever has. The only areas that are free are Bob City, the boardwalk, the bakery, partially the character creator, and the clothing designer. The function is free, but you need to buy clothing packs for more options. Everything else is paid for. Just hear that again. Everything else is paid for. Houses, locations, furniture, clothes, characters. The actual stuff you want to do anything with. And this isn't a new gripe. Go back through the comments and you'll find people that have felt this way for years. As one player put it, "I've always felt like you had to buy everything to play. I remember as a kid being jealous I couldn't play most of the apps." Which brings us to the obvious question. If players spent years furious that everything cost money, why is Toca Boca now suddenly making things free? To understand that, we have to go back. back. Because to understand what Toca Boca is now, you have to understand what it promised at the very beginning. Toca Boca started out in Sweden, where it became a proper part of growing up. The kind of app a whole generation of kids had on the family iPads. As one fan put it, early game commercials are in Swedish, and many games have Swedish Easter eggs, plus Toca is a big part of every Swedish child's childhood. And here's the thing that makes everything that came later so galling. When Toca Boca started, it was pitched as the anti-rip-off. The whole point of it, the entire pitch to parents, was that it was the safe one. You paid once, a few quid, you owned the app, and that was it. No ads, no pestering. And crucially, no in-app purchases. No little shop following your kid around, trying to sell them a sofa. That was the promise. That was the brand. We're the ones who don't do that here. So, in 2016, the people who built it sold it to Spin Master, the big Canadian toy company behind Paw Patrol, the kind of company that's publicly traded and answers to shareholders every 3 months. And Spin Master looked at this lovely, gentle, pay-once Swedish app with millions of kids on it and saw something rather different from what its founders had built. A tap they could turn on. Slowly, the original promise got dismantled. The pay once apps got rolled into one big free app, the one with the shop bolted to the home screen. And the items you used to just own became things you rent the right to look at, sold one pack at a time. The app that was specifically created so that parents wouldn't have to police a shop became a shop with a game attached. So that's the shop. But a shop is only a problem if you pay. And here's where it goes from a bit stingy to something that genuinely winds people up. Because plenty of players did pay, and then watch their stuff vanish into thin air. Here's how it tends to happen. You buy your houses, your packs, your clothes. You build up a world over months, maybe years. And then you get a new phone. Perfectly normal thing to do. You log back in, same account, same everything. And a big chunk of what you just paid for is gone, asking you to buy it again. One player put it like this: I spent at least $50 on Toca, then it all disappeared. Now I have to buy the same houses again, plus the extension pack, plus the clothes I bought. Now, there's supposed to be a safety net for this, a restore purchases button that gets back the stuff you paid for. The trouble is, it doesn't reliably do that. Some players say it's missing entirely. Others found out the hard way what it does when you press it. Under that same hospital announcement, one player explained they'd paid for the hospital. The update then locked them out of their own designer homes, so they tapped restore purchases to get back in. And all my main homes reset and took all my gifts. I've been working on this for 4+ years. And Toca's advice to the next person with the same problem: try tapping the restore purchases button. The exact button that had just flattened someone's 4 years of hard work, recommended back the cheerful little sparkle emoji. In the words of this user Liam Patton, scam app. Do not use. Made a total of £30 worth of purchases from the Google Play on 3 separate bundles, and these have disappeared from my account, which my 9-year-old daughter uses. I have contacted Toca Boca via their website form and received no reply or acknowledgement. I have also emailed them and again had no reply or even acknowledgement of the email. My daughter is really sad about the loss of content bundles, but I'm refusing to repurchase these. This is not an isolated case, and there are tons of reviews of other users having exactly the same issue. Would not use this app and feel bad for my daughter as she loves the game and has no content now. Now, you might think the obvious answer is to just play the free version and not pay a penny. Don't buy anything, nothing to lose. And you'd be right, except for one small design choice. The free version is deliberately rubbish. And that's not me saying that, that's the verdict of the players themselves. Dad, whose kid racked up a surprise charge? When he asked the community whether he should just refund it or go free to play instead, another player told him straight. It would definitely be a downgrade because the game is lackluster when you haven't bought anything. Another explained why they caved and paid in the first place. I also bought it myself because the free offer is actually too thin. You see, that's the trap, and it's a clever one. The free version is free for one reason. It's the lure. Just enough game to get a kid hooked and asking for more, and just little enough that more always costs money. And the asking for more bit gets relentless. One parent called his review Wolf in Sheep's Clothing, saying, "My daughter keeps asking for stuff for this game. Not $2 here or $3 there, but $30, $40, even $60. Every week it's something else. It feels predatory to me, the way this company goes after small children." And here's the really cynical bit once you see it. Toca Boca knows it gets a kicking for charging for everything. That's been the complaint for years. So making locations free looks like them finally listening. And yet what it actually is them having their cake and eating it. They sell the hospital to all the keen kids who can't wait, bank that money and then hand it out for free and get to look generous. Same location paid for twice over, once in cash, once in goodwill. But this means that the people who get punished are the ones that care the most. The kid who loved the game enough to buy the new thing on day one is the exact kid who gets stung when it's free a few weeks later. Being keen is the thing that costs you. And the galling part is that Toca Boca can make all of this right in an afternoon. It's their shop. They know exactly who bought the hospital before it went free. They could refund every one of them automatically. No forms, no tickets, no link in bio. They simply don't. Because every business knows the oldest rule about refunds. The harder you make one to claim, the fewer people claim it. A refund that a tired parent never gets round to chasing is cheaper than one you actually hand back. And go and open a support ticket is a remarkably effective way of making sure most people never do. And the only way to beat it, the only winning move, is to wait. Don't buy anything. Sit on your hands until it's free. Which would be sound advice, except for two small problems. First, Toca Boca don't tell you which things are going to be made free or when. They sell you the hospital at full price, exactly the same way they sell you anything else. If they called it early access, that would be honest. Early access is buy it now, everyone else gets it in 3 months. That's a deal that you can make a sensible decision about, yet Toca Boca don't do that. They sell you the hospital or OK Street High or the movie studio at full price as a permanent purchase with no hint that it's on a timer. A few months later, some of them quietly go free. So paying becomes a gamble. You hand over your money hoping you've picked one of the locations that stays paid, knowing full well a chunk of them are going to be given away to everyone for nothing. And the second problem is that this is a game for very small children. You're asking a 6-year-old to delay gratification on a sparkly new toy shop dangling in front of them on the off chance the toy might be free at some unspecified point in the future. And asking a small child to patiently wait months for the free version is like asking a Labrador to guard a sausage. The whole model is built so that the people least able to wait, the youngest, the most excited, are the ones who end up paying. And for those older, savvier players, they've worked it out. They've watched OK Street High go free, then Movie Studio, then the hospital, and drawn the obvious conclusion. One player wrote, "A lot of people are saying they aren't buying buildings because they are waiting for them to be free." And another who'd bought the lot admitted, "I have bought every location possible in the game, and I feel like they've recently made a lot of locations free. Makes me doubt if I should buy the new ones coming out or just wait for them to be free, to be honest. I haven't gotten any money back and I've owned everything they made free." Think about what's happening there. Toca Boca spent years training its players that everything costs money. Then it started giving things away to win the goodwill back. And the actual result is that it has taught its most loyal, high-spending players to stop spending. Because why would you pay today for something that might be free by Christmas? Toca Boca managed to build a shop where the smartest move is to never buy anything. That takes a special kind of genius. Smash like if you think that a kid's game shouldn't punish you for just playing it. It's just unfair. And for a lot of players, there's now a much simpler option than waiting. Just leave. Because Toca Boca, it isn't the only game in town anymore. There's a rival called Avatar World. Same idea, build your world, play your stories, and its whole pitch is the same thing Toca Boca used to stand for. Loads of free locations, generous with content. Players are leaving for this more generous rival. A kid opens a different app instead and simply never thinks about you again. And I think that's the real story of Toca Boca. It started as the app that promised it would never nickel and dime your kids. It got bought, it became exactly the thing it promised not to be, and it squeezed a generation of children for every house, every haircut, and every hospital it could. And now, after all that, Toca Boca's standing in an empty shop it built itself, handing out free samples to a crowd that's already left for somewhere nicer. Betrayed is a strong word, but ask the kid who saved up for the hospital and watched it go free a week later. Ask Liam Patton's daughter, who loves the game and has nothing left in it. They'll tell you it fits. And on that bombshell, I'll see you for the next one. Snipe, snap, out.